Welcome to another episode of Kenny Doesn't Burn the House Down. I'm going to make a Ooga noise blaster or a boo blaster. And here are my ingredients and tools that you will need and what I'm going to use. This is a 12 volt cordless drill from Harbor Freight. A car horn, kind of Ooga horn. And some wiring, some tape to tape the wires together. I use a hot knife, a soldering knife a soldering gun would work as well, and some electrical pliers, cut the wires cleanly. Once again, these are the tools you will need to make a Ooga blaster or a boo blaster. Okay, I also forgot you'll need a 4-way screwdriver. When I bought the drill at Harbor Freight, the lady told me to keep my receipt. That's the only way that I would be able to keep my warranty. Well, the warranty is going to go bye-bye here in a little bit because they're not going to warranty after I modify it. You got to take your drill apart. So you got to remove every screw on the drill. You got to get down to where it's just basically the trigger. We're going to remove the actual drill motor. So it'll just leave you a trigger and the handle basically. Then we're going to hook the Ooga horn up to the wires. And you'll be able to use the trigger on the drill to make the Ooga horn work. It's a really good little scare because it works so well. I've already used it a few times around the house and my wife jumps every time I use it. So what we're doing right now is just removing all the screws. I already made one of these previously and I turned it into a flower. We're going to go as a clown this year for Halloween. And this one, since I had so much success with it and it was so easy, I figured I would do another one and make a little video. And this is it's not my idea. This comes from Steel Beast Props, Alan Hops. I've got nowhere near as much skills as that man does, and if I can do it, if you want one, you can do it as well. It's just a guarantee. That easy. Little silver ring that we're getting ready to get rid of because we won't need mostly any of this top part. We'll get rid of all of it. We've got the motor. If by some chance Alan's watching this, he needs to figure out something to do with them little motors now. Because this will be 2 that I have sitting around doing nothing. Waiting for inspiration from Alan on how to fix and do something with them. Plastic ring off. Pry it apart a little bit and I realized there's another screw right here. Another screw right here. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 screws so far. Now we've got it apart. It's the outer shell. There's the inner workings of the drill gun. We're trying to keep it basically together, other than we're getting ready to cut the motor out. I use the scissors to cut the packaging open. Wire 1. Wire 2. So we're removing the motor. We basically don't need that. What we wanted was the wire and the trigger. We want to trim the wires up. Going to scalp them. All we did is scalp the wires. So now we got a bare wire there. Bare wire coming up right here. Bare wire. So now we got 2 bare wires. We bought some extra wire here. One of the big box stores, I believe. We're just stripping the wires again. Going to strip both ends. I'm just going to take them, twist them together. Take a little electrical tape. Doing the same thing with the positive. I didn't get red and black, I just got black wire. Simplify what I'm building, because I'm a simple guy. Just plug the battery up, and there's leads on the back right there, which I can just run the wires up and through a little hose. That's just me running the wires through there just to demonstrate where we're going with this. All right, now the hot knife's going to come into practice. We're going to cut. We're just going to cut right down this little edge back to this little opening, so our ogle horn will sit right in there. And we got to do both halves that way. We're just waiting for the ogle, for the knife to heat up. We just thought we were doing that already, but got zip ties, because that's what we're going to use to hold the ogle horn on the drill. Once again, this is not my ideal. This is Alan Hopp's ideal at Steel Beast Props, and I'm just doing a video to show you if I can do it, you can do it if you want to. Just that easy, that simple, unbelievably simple. I thought when I was watching the video it was going to be a little harder to do, No. Well, that's never going to heat up because we ain't got the power on. Alright, welcome back after I realized the plug was not plugged in for the cord that I plugged it into. Now the hot knife is hot, so we're just going to cut along the, we'll stick it in, kind of rake it to us. We're going to cut the plastic with a hot knife. Kind of push it in and then we kind of rake it. See? Cutting it right there. Just kind of pushing it in. You can probably do this with a Dremel as well. A soldering gun. What we're doing is just easing it in. I don't really have the knife blade in this time. I just have a the pointy part of the. This is the same thing we use to cut our styrofoam pumpkins with. We just cut the top off of it. Right there. We just cut that off. That's what we got left right there. Just putting it a little bit back together so everything stays in place when I flip it over. Because I don't want the wires and the trigger all to go high wire, and then we have to work on putting it back together. So all we're doing is putting some screws back in to kind of hold it in place while we get ready to cut that side. That's all we're doing. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to cut right down this little edge. The hot knife. Just kind of pushing the hot knife in. We just took it right off. Heat it up. Take it right off. There's the 2 wires we added. We're going to use that hole right there to help secure it with the zip ties. We're going to come back in the back half and we're going to make another hole. Put some zip ties through. We just made this little hole right here for the zip ties to go through. Now, I think we're done. We're done with the smoking hot knife. Smoking hot usually refers to my wife, but this time it is the knife. Make sure you're in a well ventilated area. I got the heat and air conditioning going on, and the fan in the kitchen, exhaust fan. Alrighty, we're going to turn this off, and we're going to start assembling our parts. Just screwing it back together now. Started with the 3 that we left in, and we gently put it back together, keep everything from falling apart. This is screw number 4 for y'all counting at home. Going back in. Not all the screws will be used this time because we've cut some of the places away. Evidently I already got a screw in there. Coming to an end on our putting our screws back in. I think our gun's back together now. Now we gotta take the horn. It's got a positive and negative. And of course the red's gonna be the positive. Black's gonna be the negative. I'm just gonna kind of run it through these little holes right here. Kind of twisting the wires together. Trying to get as much through the hole that we can. Once we get it through, we're going to grab it with our pliers. We'll pull as much through as we can, and then we're just going to wrap it around that little piece. We'll put the battery back on to make sure we've got the right hookup. Something is amiss right here. I think we've got this up too far. Going back 2 screws out, and we're going to see if we can't replace that a little tighter. I think got a little too far out of whack. Now we got one side in, one side not in. Now it's looking a little bit better. Yep, that's it. Put everything back together, button it back up now. All right. So we're gonna just kind of bump that one up against that to make sure everything's wired up right. We'll take that off, keep from getting any little tickles of electricity that could possibly happen. Don't think it will. It's only a 12 volt anyway, but you just kind of run that through the little hole. I want to just wrap that right around there. Pull it all the way through. All right, that's what we got right there. There's my zip ties are not quite long enough. I'm going to double it up here. It's already strapped on. You can use a water clamp as well to secure that if you want it to. I'm going to cut the zip ties off. Thanks for watching. There's one Boo Blaster. Turned it into a flower to go with our clown outfit. And today, worked on the chainsaw. There's the Boo Blaster and the guts. And the rest of it is just plastic tubs and stuff. Still needs a paint job.